So I hadn't planned on making a video about this because I know there's 1001 Bosch router table assembly videos, but I've run into a little bit of an issue and I'm not sure what I did wrong. So I have the Bosch 1617 EVS, which according to the manual is supposed to go through this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole. Well, that's great, except for it doesn't fit through any of those holes. Those don't line up with the screws that I got in the box. So, unless I can figure out what I did wrong, I have modified this, and I think it's going to be okay, but we'll see. So my issue was the screws that came with it didn't fit through, or rather the base didn't fit where it was supposed to. So I assumed that the fixed base, which is the one I've got under here, would be the one that you use. And then the one with the handles on it that I would use elsewhere, which had this plate on it, would be left for when you wanted to use it without the table setup. According to the directions, it looks like I'm supposed to use this, but those holes just don't line up. So I went back. This fits correctly. The insert obviously works correctly. So I went back and looked through my collection of screws and nuts and bolts and that mess and found one that I think works. So what I've settled on is a 1-inch screw. Don't know the size, or I'd tell you that. With a washer, because again, the holes down in this template are too wide for the screws. And according to the directions, I have style B for the assembly. So I should be able to put this screw with the lock nut and a washer through and attach it that way. Oh, that did not work. Or if it did work, I couldn't figure it out. So 50-50 shot that I might have done it wrong. So I have this set up. I've got two screws that come out up here. I'm going to go ahead and find a nut. I'm going to probably put a second washer on those. Nothing protrudes above, so I don't feel like I'm going to ever hit those. So according to the manual, I have the 1617 EVS. So I should be using hole pattern C, which I did. Mount type 2, and I should be using the pan head Phillips screws that come with the kit. Well, mount type 2 is that second one there on the right. Mounting plate, the router base, and then the nut and washer. So anyway, if I did this wrong and somebody knows that there's a simple solution, please let me know. Because I could not figure it out, other than I knew I wanted this micro dial to be at the front. So I took what I had, modified it, and hopefully it'll work. So anyway, if I did something wrong that's obvious, please let me know. If not, we're going to take this, set it down here. Assembly was awesome, very straightforward. I am super impressed with the aluminum top. I think I said in a previous video I had toyed with going with the MDF top to save some money, and I'm thrilled that I went with the aluminum. The legs are extremely stout. I was actually kind of shocked. They're plastic, but they are not remotely what I would consider a flimsy plastic at all. Even the front here, I mean, it moves a little bit, but these sides they're solid. Everything's screwed together very well. The leveling of the plate in the middle took probably less than 2 minutes. It was very straightforward. And everything else was fantastic. Had a few scratches on the top when I got it, but obviously nothing that's going to impact anything. Everything else, aside from not being labeled, which is just a personal preference when you get those hardware packs, everything else looks great, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to get the rest of this together, make sure I didn't mess anything up, and I'll be back when I actually get to turn it on and use it. See you then.